Is getting to 100 Etsy listings really the secret sauce to more sales? This is being talked about a lot online. A lot of people throw out the 100 number and that you'll be golden, you'll be good to go. Well, there's a little bit more to this than just the number of 100 listings. And I trust me, I know. I put up literally thousands of listings over my decade of working in Etsy on my journey to over $500,000 in sales. And I've learned a lot about, what works and what doesn't work. So I'm going to dive in this a little bit more today for you. Talk about ways that you can make this work and actually give you a strategy that you can implement far beyond just the number of, hey, put up 100 listings and you'll be golden, because there's a lot more to it than just that to get this to work. All right, so here we go. Let's dive into the 100 listing thing and let's just find out, is this a myth or is this kind of reality? So what does 100 listings actually do, right? This is really kind of the why behind the why. So 100 listings actually increases your chances of being found. More listings equal more opportunities to show up in search. It's more lines in the water. If you're fishing, are you going to have better luck with 1 rod or 10 rods or 50 rods? It's just increasing your probability of being found and getting those sales. It doesn't guarantee it. The other thing is it gives Etsy's algorithm more data to learn what buyers engage with, right? So you're putting more lines in the water, and then the algorithm will learn, okay, these buyers are clicking on this item, they're not clicking on this item, they're buying this item, they're not buying on this item. So they know to look at your other items, and they are the items that are being clicked and bought more, they're going to show those items more. They're going to give them more impressions. So it's just giving the algorithm more information, but it's also giving you more information as well. So 100 listings only work if you're intentional about what you're listing and how to grow. So let's just talk about, here is the actual strategy on how to use this concept to actually make it work for you. Whether it's 100 listings, 150 listings, 200 listings, the concept and the strategy is the same. And the real magic of 100 listings is what I'm going to talk about next. First and foremost, the number one thing that you have to keep in mind is serving a specific niche, right? Having an ideal customer avatar in mind. And I have gotten this pushback before on where people are like, well, how, you're telling me to serve a particular niche. Well, how can eBay and Amazon sellers do one-off products and be successful, where on Etsy you can't? You have to have a specific niche. Well, it's less about the algorithm having an issue as it is about the sellers, right? So most sellers that do one-offs are all over the place. And this is what causes the failure, not necessarily the algorithm. The niche, which I'm going to talk about, helps you in a variety of different ways. But the sellers that try to do one-off or trend-based products, they're not serving a clear niche. They're trying to do the cash grab. They're doing it for the wrong reasons. And they're not focused on a unique value proposition or quality focus. So you see this a lot. These are the trends with the people not trying to serve a niche, not trying to serve a particular market. So it's much easier to follow a niche because it gives you a path to follow, right? It reduces stress. You can increase cross sales. You can be able to release and learn about your audience and release products that they actually want. And another thing too is Etsy shows related listings together. So if you're selling, if you look at your Etsy listing, when you scroll to the bottom, it's going to have related products in your shop. If you scroll really to the bottom, it's going to have related products on other people's shop. But this is kind of the key, is you have this listing for a related product, and then it has these options. So it's increasing the chance of this person buying this item and then potentially buying these items, or not buying this item and then jumping and buying, one of these items, if you're serving that niche and you have other stuff that they want. So that's kind of the missing piece on this. And that's why that works a little bit better if you're serving a niche. Not that the one-off products and the trend-based shops can't work. Just understand that you're going to be constantly trying to figure out what is the next biggest thing, what's the next biggest trend. And chances are you're not going to care really about those trends and those products because they're going to be all across the board. So how much time and dedication are you going to put into your shop when you're chasing these trends and the stuff's not selling? And you're like, oh, this doesn't work. This stinks. I don't really care. I just want the money. So you're really in it for the wrong reasons. If you have a niche and a passion and you're really trying to serve that niche and give them stuff that they want, they could use, that is valuable, not only are you going to be more interested in it, more passionate about it, but you're going to last longer because you actually care about it. And if it doesn't work, you're going to keep going. It's going to be a lot easier to keep going. Whereas most people will ultimately quit because it's not going to usually happen really fast, right? It's going to be a little bit of a slow journey. So you have to care about what you're doing. Otherwise, it's going to get really painful and you're going to want to stop. All right. So that's the importance of a niche. And I talk about it a lot. But that's kind of the why behind the why. Again, it's not that the algorithm can't find customers for one-off products. It's just going to be a lot harder. And a lot of those people that are doing it that way are just doing it the wrong way. So the second part of the 100 listings that you really need to consider is releasing products consistently and slowly. You don't want to rush and do 100 listings right away, because a lot of people, this is the problem I have with this strategy, is a lot of people they hear this 100 listings. So what do? They wake up and they do 100 listings in the next couple of days or 100 listings in one day, right? That is a mistake as well, because you're doing it too fast. You're just throwing mud on the wall. You're not being strategic. So the best thing that you can do is add 2 to 5 listings per week so you can test, pivot, and avoid wasting efforts on products that don't work. Because if you have that slow release of products, you're going to start to see over time, okay, these products are starting to get traffic. And then maybe eventually they're going to start to get sales. So what does that tell us? What does that tell us about these products? Well, we want to basically do more products similar to what is getting traffic and what is getting sales. Because if we do that, we will usually get more sales because the audience is telling us that they like those things. And then we keep doing it. We do more products, maybe some slight different variations, but we keep doing it over and over again. It's going to help us dial in our niche, find more and more products that customers like and customers want. Whereas if you have 100 listings and you're just doing random stuff, you're doing them so fast, it's going to take a lot of time to figure out which one of these are going to get traffic and which one of these are going to get sales. And sure, yeah, by the numbers, you're probably going to find a couple that get traffic and sales. But what did you do in the meantime? You added and did all the work. And if you're making your products ahead of time, you probably did 50, 60, 70, 80 listings that aren't going to perform that great. So you wasted your time, whereas you could have did a couple of listings each week and then slowly started to see what's working and then focus the rest of your time on what's working and not focus the time on just doing random products that you want to do. So we have to be strategic. We should not just do stuff just to do it, right? We got to be strategic about it. So that's a big key there. Number 3, before I dive into number 3, if you want more help with this stuff, if you want a place to go and ask questions, you want your own individual one-on-one coaching call, there's a link below for my Etsy Games VIP program. I help you with your SEO. Every new member gets a one-on-one strategic coaching call to go into your shop, talking about strategy. It's just a positive, fun, safe place to come and hang out, learn, and grow. That's not going to break the bank. It's just $10 a month, super valuable. Literally similar programs are thousands. I wanted to have a place that you can come, invest in your business, and not have to worry about the money aspect of it. So a lot of people are coming here, growing, getting a lot more sales and a lot more traffic just because they have a place to go that they can trust and interact with other like-minded sellers. So make sure you guys check that out. I'd love to have you over there and work with you more in your business. All right, so number 3, product line. So this is another big part of this. This fits into number 2, releasing products consistently and slowly. Product lines help curate your target market a little bit better, but it also helps your shop be cohesive. It helps you find bestsellers faster, and it helps give customers related products to explore. So this is kind of along, your overarching shop, is, your niche, right? But then fitting into your shop, you should have product lines. So depending on these are kind of like sub niches. So depending on what your niche is serving, you want to focus on building out these product lines, because again, this is kind of making you even more strategic. Whereas finding a niche is your path to success, doing it in terms of product lines is going to be the extra fuel to the fire that's going to expedite your success even further. Because, if you're doing product lines, you can find within the product lines which products are good, which products are bad as far as traffic and sales. And then what does that tell you? You're going to do more products related to the good ones in your product line that are doing good. So it helps give the algorithm more data, it helps give you more data, and it helps you focus on particular product lines so you can start to see. It's almost like mini tests, right? Product lines are like mini tests to kind of see, which ones are going to sell. And all companies do this to a certain extent. If you look at Apple, look at the iPhones, iPhone Pro Max, iPhone Pro, iPhone Air, or whatever the case may be. So the iPhone is the product line. These are the variations of different products within that product line, right? They have the same thing with the MacBook. They have the same thing with the AirPods. So you can start to see, if you do this the same way in your business, which of these are more popular than others, and that'll help focus you for other products and arrange and curate your shop in a way that's more beneficial for your niche as well. So number 4 is, and I've been already talking about this, is double down on what works. You're going to track the listings that get the most traffic and the most sales over time. And then you're going to expand those areas instead of just adding random new products. You're going to follow the data so we can be strategic, right? So we're going to track which of these listings do well, do more of what's working, less of what's not working. So many people, it's so common for people just to do, kind of random stuff. They're just doing it to check a box. Very random. We want to work more strategic than random. If I ask you why you do something, you should tell me, I'm doing it because of this. I'm doing it because the data told me to do it this way, or because of past examples of this. So we want to align and be strategic so we're not wasting time. Time is the only thing that we have a limited, finite amount of, right? So we want to spend it accordingly, and this is what will help you grow a lot faster or slower, depending on if you pay attention to this. And this is why the consistent listings is important, because you're going to get more and more data to work from. And this is why starting is important, because until you start, you're not going to know. You can hypothesize, you can theorize, you can be scared, but we can't really use any of that to our advantage until we start putting stuff out there and improving upon it and iterating on it and seeing what works, right? So just put it out there, just go, so we can start to learn. So that is really the key to all this, right? So just to kind of recap, the main takeaways of all this is 100 listings only matter if each one builds strategically towards your niche, your audience, and your shop growth. It's not 100 listings that equals success. It's 100 intentional listings equals data, learning, and growth. And even if you are being strategic and you get to 100 listings, that may not drastically change your business, right? My business didn't drastically change until I got to 250 listings. Not to scare you, but keep in mind, I didn't have this strategy. So I was fumbling around, 100, 150 of those listings were just based on, a lot of random stuff. So I didn't refine my strategy until years later. And basically, I was starting at zero because I had to pull back and kind of adjust a lot of stuff. So I don't want you guys to have to do that. But just keep in mind, it's different for every niche. So it's less about the number than it is about the strategy behind it. And that's kind of the main takeaway from this video. And that's why I want to do this video for you guys, because you hear the number thrown around a lot, and I don't think it's presented the right way. It's not presented in a way that's going to be beneficial to you, because it's not about the number. So that's it, guys. Hopefully it helps you guys out. Hopefully you can implement that stuff in your business right away. And again, hop over to the Etsy Games program. I'd love to see you guys in there, so I can help you grow your business, give you some more strategies to help grow your business, and just come hang out and have a little bit of fun, so you're not lonely in this journey together. So hopefully that helps you guys out. I'll be back soon with some more good stuff for you. Have an amazing rest of your day.